All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me in chat. I'll get Breakman here as soon as I can. Just let me know when you can hear me. When you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. My modem just went crazy, and that's that. But we'll get back here in just a second. I'm getting Breakman back as we speak. Let me know when you can hear me. See if we can get Break back on. Let me know if you can hear me, y'all, in chat. Either Twitch or Yo, Breakman.
Yo, what's
Breakman,
up,
we're
bro?
back.
Are we on the air? Or?
Yeah, we're on the air.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
what
good.
the
That
hell.
gave me time to go preheat the oven because I got a Costco pot pie waiting for me after
Oh
the show.
shit. Good.
Mm.
Yeah,
You
I don't know
ever
what
have you ever had a Costco pot pie?
I have not, but it sounds good, man. Pot
Oh
pie
my
sounds
God, they are fucking amazing.
good. It just seems weird to me to eat at these places, but I know it's cheap and good probably. But let me just finish up the tax discussion.
Well, Costco, like it's basically quantity type thing.
Yeah,
It's
you get
they
more.
sell
Yeah,
everything wholesale,
yeah, yeah,
so you get like bulk of most everything. But when you buy things like the pot pie, for instance,
yeah,
the thing is fucking huge.
yeah, yeah, for sure. You get a lot. The same thing at Sam's Club.
Yes,
You get a
exactly.
lot.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, you get a huge ass hot dog for like $1.50 or something.
Yeah,
And yeah.
it's
Um,
good quality stuff, and their Popeyes are
I don't know where
amazing.
I left off when the stream stopped, so I
Mm.
apologize for the quick edit there, everybody that's
I don't know.
listening.
My cat started purring, and then the stream went down.
Oh yeah, see, it's your cat. I blame your cat, man. No, just to finalize, I mean, the bottom line: the rich are going to get richer with this, and the poor are going to get
Yeah,
poorer.
yeah. I know. I definitely agree with
And
that.
I
That's
don't like the
like I said. That's what was going to happen to begin with.
Yeah, the thought of it, the thought is not correct either because it goes along the lines of trickle down economics, which has been proven time and time again. It doesn't work. The more money you give rich people, the more money they save, and it's the opposite when you talk about the middle class and lower income people. If you give them more money, the economy flourishes, and we sometimes get into surplus situations and we spend money. Like I mean, I don't have a savings. Do you? A break? Maybe a 401k, something along those natures,
Hmm.
but nothing major. We're not major investors or anything, so you
No,
know,
I do not play in the stock market. I
yeah,
know that's the real way to make money, but that's also the real way to lose money.
yeah, and it's also a very shady kind of field. It's basically legalized gambling, if you
Yeah.
really boil it down.
I know. I hear all the time like you need to invest like
No,
and such
no,
like that, but you can lose your ass through
yeah,
investments too.
yeah,
I
and
mean it's it seems like one of the only ways to build towards the future.
yeah, but it's
But
not a
yeah,
fun way to
exactly.
do things. You can lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
I remember like having
There's
even
definitely no guarantees with the stock market, but
yeah.
the people who tell you and encourage you to invest don't mention that part.
Well, and also those same people, like the major hedge fund people, they know insider information before anybody else, and that's how they make money. They they buy and sell according to their information. Which why would you blame them? I mean, that's a way to make more fucking money. But
Mhm.
absolute power corrupts absolutely, and once you get into the millionaire and billionaire status, I think you're pretty. You start along that route unless you just kind of stay low key and just do your thing, and stuff
Or
like
like
that.
that you maybe win the lottery and you blow your fortune within a year.
I don't understand how anybody can do that, break man. If you,
I know, but there are people who
I
do it,
know,
and
I've seen it. There was a person I think that won like 100 million in Powerball and pissed it all away within 5 years, and I'm like,
yeah, my sister works with somebody who won the lottery,
yeah.
and every once in a while she takes the cheap shots. Because she's my sister, of course she would take the cheap shots.
Of course, of course. So that's my thought on that. I also had kind of a sad stinko. Jim Neighbors died today. I don't know if
Mm,
anybody knows who Jim Neighbors
yes, I saw
was.
that too. I was
Yeah,
thinking about making that, but I thought that it was more important that we really discuss that the Navajo thing. But
yeah,
yes, yes, that's
yeah,
Stinka too.
yeah. He played Gomer Pyle on the Andy Griffith Show, and to be honest, I didn't even know Jim Neighbors was still alive, but apparently he
And he
passed away
was
today.
he made a cameo in one of my absolute favorite movies too,
Which one?
Cannonball Run 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Um,
I fucking love that movie.
yeah,
I like the first one, but I love the second one.
yeah. Now, those are fun movies to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We did our Sweetos and Stinkos and all kinds of stuff. We went into tax reform, which is another word for give millionaires and billionaires way more
The
money.
rich get richer and the rest of us get nothing.
Yep, exact. Actually, you might see a tax increase, Breakman, depending on
Ooh,
your tax bracket.
ooh, oh, sweet.
Yep, yep. So I looked at the CBO report. 13 million people off of health insurance. 1.5 trillion more on top of the deficit that we already have, and we're only going to be able to recover about 500 million or billion of that. Not nowhere near what the Republicans say you will. They always go with that trickle down economic shit that never, ever, ever works. It never.
So far, they've had trouble passing anything whatsoever.
They got the votes, Breakman, so they'll vote on it.
I know they're saying they have the votes, but if they did, I think it would have happened today.
The only reason why is because Susan Collins is the holdout. And she's worried about the individual mandate and something else, but they're gonna work it out. Trust me, money talks, Breakman. And I did tell you guys this. I
If they
predicted
can
this.
work it out in a good way, that'd be nice, but we
It's
know it'll
not.
be in a greedy way.
Yeah, it's not gonna be worked out in a good way. They're gonna get.
It'll be worked out in a greedy way.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
called the greedy way.
Exactly. The greedy way. That's the Washington way, man.
It is.
But other than that holdout, it's gonna
I don't
be
know what Dungeon Buster's talking about in chat, but he says chunky download is chunky.
something about
I just
Rex.
wanted to say that. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
You don't know why, huh? Yeah, so that's pretty much what's been going on, man. Trump's being a doofus as always. Calling.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing that kind of went under the radar, which I was surprised, was North Korea launched another ballistic missile test.
Yeah.
And they pretty much proved they can hit anywhere in the continental United States. So no one is safe. And it sucks that
See, we are because we have the missile defense systems to protect us. It's not us that we need to worry about. It's Japan and South Korea.
Those are the two ones that do need to worry about it. But I'd be worried if I was the United States too, because they did some preemptive defense system things, and they failed. So
Look, one of the things we talk about, like our military and stuff, our military is far more advanced
there's
than North
no
Korea's.
question about that. But the sheer number of people that North Korea has makes me kind of nervous, dude. And
Dungeon Buster in chat says we have Star Wars, and I think he's referring to the Ronald Reagan Star Wars program.
Yeah, missile defense system is what he said, Dungeon, not Star
Yes,
Wars.
yes, he was. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah. So it's scary times that we live in. Although I did see this stuff about, what do you make of all this General Flynn shit, Breakman? Because I don't see it going anywhere. Do you see it implicating Donald Trump in any shape, form, or fashion? Like, I just don't see it.
He pleaded guilty to a minor charge.
Yeah, it was super minor. And he doesn't have a...
I know the headlines keep saying he pleaded guilty, but then you read the story and you find out he didn't plead guilty to anything like big.
And there was no plea bargain agreement either.
Like it's not something that's going to implicate Trump, unfortunately, but it does get closer to it, you know?
Well, I was reading something about how Jared Kushner was one of the people that told General Flynn about... So... maybe that, but I don't even see Donald Trump going down if Kushner goes down, because it's Donald Trump. Like, he gets away with every fucking thing. Like, the guy literally said he grabs women by the pussy and they let him do it, and he's still the president of the United States. It boggles my mind that we live in the year 2017 and we have a racist, misogynist asshole as president. It's just weird. I don't know what to say about it, Breakman. I don't know what that says about us, the United States. I think it says a lot of shitty things about us. Like, I mean, the Pocahontas stuff was pretty atrocious, and he doesn't see anything wrong with that, and it doesn't seem like any of his staff sees any faults with
see,
that.
the thing is, like, apparently they asked the code talkers afterwards, and none of them were really offended by it. So all of his supporters are going like, yes, that's true. Like, look, it's not racist because they said it was okay. But then they actually pulled like Native Americans afterwards, and
Very unpopular.
Yeah, the vast majority were not happy about that statement.
Did you see there was a distant relative of Pocahontas that actually spoke out?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Check that out after the show, Breakman. It's pretty interesting. She's got some interesting thoughts on it. I think it's pretty.
And not only that, he did this entire conference with a picture of Andrew Jackson right behind him.
Oh, don't get me started on that. He's the one that brought that portrait back.
One of the most notoriously racist presidents that's ever, in the existence of ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Some may argue Hitler, but
Hitler was never a president.
Well, sort of, but yeah, I agree.
I was talking about our
U.S. presidents. Yeah,
like he hated Native Americans. He never hid behind that.
Yeah.
Woodrow Wilson, I know he hated black people.
Yes.
But he was only in office for like a month before he got sick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was only about a month. So he doesn't really count as much as anything because his wife was basically the president for most of the term.
True. That is true.
But Andrew Jackson, he was fine, and he caused the Trail of Tears among other atrocities.
Yep. I would say Richard Nixon's up there too because of the drug war that he started. That would be a pretty good example. Who was I think it wasn't Clinton. Was it the first Bush that started the private prison system? Maybe it was Nixon.
I don't know because I didn't know about the private prison system until recently. I had no idea.
I made a statement on the show a few weeks back that I took a lot of flack for.
I'm still that's one of the things I learned in 2017, and I'm still really shocked by it.
Yeah, I made a statement on Grinders before that people were really up in arms about. And I'm not talking just you guys. I'm talking like off, in other worlds where I said that slavery still exists in this country, and I didn't mean exist as in we're hanging and lynching people and stuff like that, but we're still, there's still such a thing as slave labor going on in this country in the private prison system, and it's the vast majority is minorities, whether it's black or Hispanic or other minorities, and then I made the comparison in the NFL, which in a roundabout way is proving my theory right, because I liken the NFL players to indigenous kind of indentured slaves where they're paid for their service, and I know they get paid millions and millions of dollars and all that, but if you look at there's not even one. I think there's one minority owner out of all of them, and he's a big Trump supporter. And I think his name is Saeed Khan in Jacksonville. But if you look at the makeup of the entire NFL owner network, it's the good old boy network. You have people like Jerry Jones, the Mara brothers in New York. You have the only one that I give any sort of real kind of credence and credit is the guy in Pittsburgh, because he hired what's the name, Mike Tomlin as coach, and gave him a good chance to do a good thing. The other one is Ursay, although Ursay I believe is kind of racist as well. But it's been long documented that this anytime that there's contract negotiations with the NFL players, it almost overwhelmingly always goes into the favor of the owners. And we wonder why these guys appeal decision after decision after decision. Like one of them was this. Uh, um, did you watch the Raider Bronco game by chance or catch highlights, Breakman?
I probably saw the highlights. I don't
Okay,
remember if I saw the game or not.
Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree got in a fight.
Oh yeah. Yes,
That
yes.
stuff
Okay,
happens all
yes.
the time. Like it just happens. Like there are fights in almost every game that we either see or don't see. If they're major, we see them. But we see punches thrown all the time in sports, and they got penalized for 2 games for being passionate about what they do. And I don't condone fighting. As a matter of fact, I think fighting should be outlawed in all sports, including the main one, hockey. I don't think fighting adds anything to hockey other than a bunch of dude bros getting excited that two people are off balance with punches that have no real muster behind them. I do like boxing because I think it's a skill rather than just mindless. Um,
Hello,
yeah, hello. Yeah,
hello.
there we go. Hello.
What,
But
if
there's.
you're not gonna speak, then I'm gonna hang up because I'm doing a show right now.
I agree. I totally agree with
Seriously, this is rude. Say something,
that. It's something.
asshole.
But I don't know. I just kind of I lost my love for football this year, Breakman. Although I will say, the last game, remember we bet on the
Hmm.
Bronco Bengal game?
Yes,
Even
that's fun.
when I lose, I win. The Broncos lost that game, and I actually picked against the Broncos for the first time I think ever.
Yeah,
Breakman.
me too. Like I don't root against my team.
I
Like
don't either. I mean,
I was kind of actually still rooting for you. So.
mm, well, I was
Because
actually
I don't want to lose, but at the
I
same
was
time, like
actually
I don't want to lose the bet
I
either.
know.
So
I didn't want to lose the bet, but it's like kind of blasphemous to go against your team. But
yeah, like I hate the people that bet against their team, but that's not really what we were doing because we're betting for our team to get draft picks.
right. And my
So we still technically were betting for the good of our team.
yep, and my team is in line for a top 5 draft pick, so I feel okay with that. Yeah, it's becoming a real race between the Browns, the Giants, the 49ers, and the Broncos for that number 1 pick, man. Can you imagine the Broncos getting the number 1 pick and getting someone like Sam Darnold if he pans out, or that other kid from either Oklahoma or the other one from USC? It'd be kind of cool. I would hope that we would have a better team then. I mean, our defense is good enough, just the offense always fucking sucks. But all right, anything else you want to talk about, Breakman?
And we're talking about the next Star Wars movie in chat.
Mm,
Um,
let's talk about that. I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I heard there's a spoiler in the trailers.
I'm sure
Um,
there is.
I've only seen the teaser. I didn't see the full trailer for that. I mean, I had to for Infinity War because
Mm,
my favorite is Thanos. My favorite villain of all time is Thanos. So
right.
I'm really really happy.
And the trailer they're going to give you now is probably going to is for the Infinity War. Probably gave us a spoiler or two, but for the most part, it's not going to really ruin
Right.
anything. Like
I mean,
we
it's
expected Spider-Man to be in the movie, for instance.
right. We expected Spider Man. We expected Black Panther and
Yeah,
Wakanda, I believe. Really wasn't too much too spoilery of stuff going on in that Infinity. I mean, we knew they were going to go up against Thanos, and there was going to be a big war. So I don't see any big time spoilers. Maybe somebody saw something that I didn't, but I didn't see any major ones. The Jedi one, I'm not looking at it because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to go have an unspoiled experience at the theater. So that should be fun. Um, what else? What else is going on in the news that you want to talk about, Break? We got a
I
few
don't know.
minutes.
Back to Star Wars. We're talking about hoping that the next one's gonna be good because we definitely have complaints about the last movie.
The which one? The Rogue?
Force Awakens.
Oh, The Force Awakens I liked okay. It was just more rehash of New Hope.
I enjoyed it for the most part. I really liked it, and I can go back and watch it. But the last I don't know 20 minutes of the movie
Yeah. Yeah.
were fucking retarded.
Yeah. I did like Rogue. Rogue
For
One.
I shouldn't. I mean, I shouldn't. I gotta stop using retarded. I gotta stop saying that.
No, you don't, man. You can say whatever you want, man.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I know people that are handicapped, and I wouldn't say that to them. So I don't want to use that as an insult either. It's
It's
but it just the last 20 minutes of the movie suddenly Rey, who's never had any training, it becomes like the super powered like Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you go back to like the last saga, like it took Luke the entire Empire Strikes Back movie to become a badass, and he still lost at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Rey is suddenly able to beat. She's suddenly able to beat a fucking guy who murdered an entire Jedi temple.
So you think it's gonna be Rey versus Snoke at the end of this one, and
No.
Rey's gonna get her ass kicked? Because I heard Rey is not gonna be back after this movie. So that
I don't know. There's always it reminds me of the original trilogy. Like there were at the time, there were definitely rumors. There were a lot of rumors like going into Return of the Jedi. Like apparently, like Luke was now evil. Like he joins the dark side. Like those are the type of rumors back then. So I wouldn't put too much stock into the rumors. But Dungeon Buster in chat says all of a sudden Rey went Super Saiyan.
Yeah, exactly. Super
Like,
Saiyan.
yeah, like all of a sudden she's like at the moment she's strapped to a chair. And you think back to maybe Luke or something. What would have Luke done before he had any training? He would have maybe tried to use the Force, pull something to him or something.
Yeah.
Suddenly, she knows how to use the Jedi mind trick.
She must be like
she has never seen anybody use the Jedi mind trick.
Well,
let alone been taught how to use it.
Well,
but suddenly she's able to like she's the master of it.
It's sort of like it reminds me. Maybe she's like the LeBron James of the Force, dude. Like some people are.
I think they're going to try and explain that all with the second one. I think you're right. I think she's going to be like she's amazing with the Force and such.
Yeah, and I think her gem had something to do with it too. So maybe that's something that helps her out.
But just saying, as like a longtime fan of Star Wars, it was just like, what the fuck?
Out of place. Yeah, it was very
like, how the hell did she do that?
Since we're talking Star Wars, did you like Rogue One, dude? Because I liked Rogue One quite a lot.
Rogue One I liked a lot more than Force Awakens.
Yeah,
Rogue One was it was a different experience for a Star Wars movie. We talked about it back then, but it was a war movie.
Yep. It definitely
which we haven't seen from a movie from a franchise called Star Wars other than the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to pass judgment on this one because people are saying that this might follow the same formula as Empire. And if it does, it's got a chance of being a pretty great movie because I remember Empire being the best of the trilogy from the first.
I know everybody loves Empire, but
I love it.
It was. I love Empire too, but it wasn't my absolute favorite of them.
You like Return?
It was kind of the most confusing too because the time. Like what was going on with the time, I've never been able to understand.
I can't understand it
Luke
either.
is on Dagobah learning the Force, and he comes out of that and he's a total badass.
Yep.
And it looks like maybe he's doing like weeks or maybe months of training, but then you go over to the Cloud City and before Cloud City, them invading the Empire, and it looks like they've been doing that for maybe a day or two.
Yeah, this maybe goes.
It was really that was a really weird time experience between those. I've never been able to understand really like how much time was he on Dagobah and how long were they actually in Cloud City.
There's a Reddit of Star Wars that delves into all those intricate details. I think they explain some of that in a couple of the books. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were, but they were pretty good receive books. But I agree with you, man. The Star Wars timeline is about as confusing as like what's going on in Lost. I don't know if you remember Lost, like trying to keep up
I
with
never
everything.
watched Lost. Actually.
Lost is very. I like Lost for the most part, except for the stupid smoke monster. But their timelines and their kind of like plot holes were so weird.
Dungeon Buster in chat said, "I felt bad for everyone that bought action figures for Rogue One."
Yeah, everybody dies at the end. It's like those are gonna be
unless you bought like a Darth Vader action figure, you still alive then.
Oh damn, dude! I still have
and that was that was weird to me. Like reading about it later, that scene was completely added on.
Which one?
That wasn't in their original script. Him like walking down the hallway, being one of the most badasses that I think I've ever seen.
Oh, in Rogue One, yeah, that was
like that ending was freaking amazing.
Yeah,
like,
that was
but
really
that was
cool.
the scene they added on later. Like, okay.
Yeah, that made that movie like extra special because that's the first time.
So too.
That was the first time we ever saw Darth Vader really kick some ass. You know, like
like that. And that kind of really reinforced like how scary Vader was.
Yes. I don't feel the same way with Kylo Ren at all. I think he's kind of like, kind of a boring.
I know he like the only part of the first movie where he was really like, oh, I kind of like him now is when he was throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, that's the only time. I hope they make him a little more badass. What is it, Captain Phantasm? She's really interesting. I hope they do a lot more with her. That'll be fun.
Phasma, I think.
Yeah.
Or Phantasm.
Phantasm.
Captain Phantasm.
She
is actually supposed to have more of a story arc in this one, but they said in the original she was going to have more of a story. She was going to have a story arc, like she's one of these main characters. No, she wasn't. So who knows?
Dungeon Buster says, you want to say it, Frank. Kylo's too emo. He really is, man. He's like that emo. I hesitate to say stoner because I'm stoner, but like the emo stoner that kind of keeps to himself in high school.
I didn't get that impression. More like the emo rich kid.
Yeah, maybe that's even better.
Like he seems like really spoiled, you know?
Yeah. So in other words,
like didn't he seem spoiled to you? Like he seemed like.
So in other words, he's Donald Trump Jr. So
yes,
there you go.
For some reason, because we know his parents didn't spoil him. So maybe that's why he joined with Snoke. Maybe Snoke was like, hey, little rich kid, here's some stuff for you.
Is it just
here's
me
some
or
bitches?
Does Snoke look like he's related to the troll in Lord of the Rings? Doesn't he look like him?
I think they're done by both by Andy Serkis. That's probably why.
Okay, I was like, doesn't that look like the troll from Lord of the Rings? Like seriously, I don't know, man. Are we gonna see extended Snoke this time around or no? Probably not.
We're gonna find out more about Snoke.
Hopefully, because Snoke is supposedly a badass.
I would imagine maybe we're gonna find out how big he is.
Yeah. I know. He looked like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if that was just an image or if he is actually that big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that was just an image.
I agree. I don't think it's gonna be that big. I am excited for this
Star
Wars.
Although if they go with he's that big, I'm gonna go cool. Let me say I don't think it is, but I hope it is.
It's like Sauron in Lord of the Rings, man. It's like awe-inspiring. Like when you see this big ass giant on the or even better, Game of Thrones, that kick-ass giant that just boots like 20 people at a time. Like he's just.
I've never seen.
Oh, dude, you got to check out Game of Thrones, man. It's.
I know. I've heard it's a good show. Well, maybe when it comes to Netflix or Hulu, I'll get to see it.
Just do what everybody else does, dude. Just fucking go to Yiffy or whatever else, man.
I don't want to do stuff like that.
I know, but dude, it's well worth it. Buy the seasons, dude. They're not that expensive. Like $15.
Yeah, they do. I think they were on sale during Black Friday.
Yeah. At least 1 through 3 were at Best Buy.
Yeah, I saw on DVD they had Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yes, and that's an
If they had it on
excellent
Blu-ray, I would have bought it, but they only had it on
dude.
DVD. I'm like,
There
fuck.
is there is one episode in season 2. I can't wait to. Have you seen it or are you?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh, dude, there is
No,
one.
I really want to. Like, I love those
Uh,
movies. They were
done.
so fantastic.
Oh, dude, the second season. There's one episode that is one for the fucking ages, dude. And I think if Dungeon Buster, you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It is. It's so good, man. And it'll surprise you, dude. Ash versus Evil Dead surprised the hell out of me. I think that's an endearing, cool series, man. It's really cool. What have you been?
I'm always down for Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
I
Ruby
think he makes
Bruce.
everything pretty engaging,
He
and
does.
to put him back in the role that really made, like, introduced us to Bruce Campbell. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely see
Back
it.
in the day, I kind of wanted him to play Punisher when he was younger because he has that kind of like snarky kind of like if he killed somebody, he'd make a one-liner. Like he would have been a better Punisher than Dolph Lundgren in that movie. But
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren was really bad for that role.
yeah, that wasn't his role.
And I've said it many times. Like, I like the Thomas Jane movie, but he was not.
He
He was
wasn't
not Frank
Punisher.
Castle.
No. The Punisher series, dude. I want to touch on that real briefly. No spoilers, but I liked it. Not as much as I could have, though. I thought they toned him down except for like 3 or 4 episodes. But the final episode was fucking amazing. Or not the second to find the one where, there was a fight between somebody. But
That was a lot of. It was the last few episodes or last couple episodes were him versus were one-on-one fights.
yes,
basically.
and that the mirror. That's all I gotta say, dude. That
Ooh.
was to me.
That is one of the few times where I really genuinely started feeling bad for the bad guy.
Yeah, that's exactly
that was
right.
like I was like, oh my.
That was a Punisher kill.
I can't believe he's in the cries the guy was making when it was happening.
Yep.
Just like, oh my god.
There wasn't a Punisher kill since I think the video game that I liked more than that particular kill, man. It was a thing of beauty.
I don't know, the Sledgehammer episode, the first episode with the Sledgehammer was really fucking good.
That was good too, but man, the mirror, dude, like that one. Boy, oh boy, man! Like
I've never felt bad for a bad guy before then. Like, oh my god!
Oh man, and that guy's still alive, man.
I know that was the worst.
I can't wait to see that.
You know what I wanted? I always wanted to play that PlayStation 2 Punisher game where one of the gameplay elements was to actually like torture people.
Yeah.
I never got to play that game.
Yeah.
Because Dungeon Buster in chat's bringing up the arcade Punisher, which was that was a gun game, wasn't it?
Beat 'em up. It was a beat 'em up game.
Oh, was it beat 'em up? Then
Yeah.
what game am I thinking of?
I don't know, man. But that there was one on the Xbox that was basically a torture simulator, dude. It was pretty good. It wasn't gameplay wise, but like just the things that you could do to people were pretty unique and cool and whatever. I did have a couple of minor problems with the Punisher. I felt like I'm big into like movies, like the actual process of movie making, and there were a lot of scenes that were kind of framed wrong. Like they would have characters like in each other's bubbles. And I know that was kind of a framing issue. Like they needed to get both characters into the same shot, so it looked like they were about to kiss or something.
Yeah, that is something I see in a lot of shows. I can't really fault them for that because I see it all the time.
I know,
but it does bother me when people for instance, I did have another Sweeto and I completely forgot about it until this moment right now.
Go for it.
I see it all the time in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
People basically face talking. I worked in retail for a long time. Mm-hmm. One of the things I had to experience was face talkers.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most horrifying experiences ever because literally they're about an inch or two away from your face. They want to talk to you. And just like
It's a
I
that's
like you're violating my space in
Yep.
ways I never could imagine right
Yeah.
now, dude. You need to back up.
Yep. Absolutely, dude. I can agree with you more, man.
Tiger Claw said there was a Punisher game on the NES. I think that's
Yes.
the game I'm thinking
Yeah,
of. I think
that
that was the gun game.
yes, I think you're right.
It wasn't. You didn't like use a gun, but it was basically like him like shooting forward. I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
I think that's what I was thinking of.
Um
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you, Tiger Claw.
the other minor kind of issue that I had with it was, where was Daredevil? Not that I wanted Daredevil to show up in this universe because, it's the
Well,
Punisher
no,
series.
he is a part of this universe.
Right.
I think Daredevil at this point is still recovering from what happened.
But okay, there's two major explosions and Daredevil doesn't do anything about it? Like, really? Like, to me that just doesn't, that maybe they'll clear it up in the next Daredevil season, but
Yeah.
dude, knowing Daredevil, he could have been on crutches and he would have been trying to at least see what the fuck
Yeah,
was going
that's
on.
a good point. I never really thought of that while I was watching the show because I was just too much with. Oh man, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. No, it was good, man. There's no question. I mean,
I liked it a lot. I
yeah.
think I enjoyed that more than the definitely a lot more than uh,
Iron
Iron
Fist.
Fist.
Oh god, Iron
But
Fist.
everybody did. But
I
I enjoyed it more than the Defenders.
um
I was really enjoyed
yeah,
the Punisher. Like for me, like he nailed the role. Like
no question.
he was basically basically Frank Castle is an asshole.
Yeah, basically. It's I thought it was pretty good, man. I didn't have any major issues with it at
Yeah.
all. Just like I said, some of the camera shots were a little questionable to me, and I really did wonder where Luke Cage and Daredevil and Jessica Jones
Yeah, I
were.
could see that like diminishing how you felt about it because I didn't really think about that when I was
Yeah,
watching it.
I mean, I'm watching it and I'm like, I mean, no matter where Devil is, he's gonna hear this fucking explosion, or it's gonna be on TV, and he'd want to know at least who's, maybe fucking Kingpin was back, or some bullshittery is going on. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an odd choice. Plus the fact that um, what's her face was his kind of love interest throughout the the series. You would have thought she would have at least gave information to Murdoch and Frog, but whatever. Very minor. It's a good series. Watch it.
Yeah, well, I think she's maybe the Froggy, but I think she's still mad at that.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
But my other sweeto, the one I completely forgot to mention was the Arrowverse had their 4-part crossover again, and this time it was actually a 4-part crossover.
Ooh, nice.
So it started with Supergirl, and the last year basically it was a Supergirl episode, and then in the last 5 minutes, like she's like Cisco shows up from Flash,
Mm-hmm.
and then she joins it. So in the last 5 minutes of that show, now this one basically starts out with the wedding of Iris and Barry.
Mm.
So the Flash is getting married when suddenly Nazis show up.
Oh wow.
because it's DC and they just go all out on this show, and it was just a
It's
fucking blast to watch them. All 4 parts of it were completely tied to this Nazi invasion, stopping the Nazis. Everybody was in for it. I can't really think of any major characters that they left out. Um,
I haven't seen any of those DC series, and I know I'm
yeah.
missing out, man. Arrow, Supergirl. What's the other
Hmm.
ones?
Arrow,
Flash,
Supergirl, The Flash, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow,
Legends of Tomorrow,
which
and
which
Gotham.
sometimes is my favorite of the all 4 shows.
Oh,
I really love what they do with DC Legends of Tomorrow. The first season with that show was really like, let's take some spaghetti and throw it against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play with whatever sticks, So it was the most uneven
Yeah.
show you could probably ever see, the first season of it, but it was still fun to watch and definitely had its good spots. The second season, they really found themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to build on that, and they had the Legion of Doom.
Ooh.
So the Legends were fighting the Legion of Doom.
I like
They
I
really embraced that. Like this is going to be the most comic book show of the comic book shows.
I hate when Fox cancels series before they get their legs. You know, some
Mhm.
series take a few seasons to kind of get them the air between their beneath their wings, or so to speak. So
Mhm.
I'm glad to hear that they're the given shows like, because I saw the first two episodes of Legends of Tomorrow, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't, I'm not feeling it, and I dropped it. But it's nice to hear that they kept going, and it's catching, it's getting better as it goes
Yeah,
along.
if the second season is on Netflix, I recommend you start with the second season.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Rory, Mick Rory, for instance, is fantastic.
I'll try to get through all those too, because I know those are fun series to watch. And Gotham too. Is Gotham in the same universe as?
No, no,
No.
no. Gotham's
Okay.
definitely not in the same universe. Gotham, the first, I don't know, few seasons was one of the weirdest, most uneven shows I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But last season
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
They they started out with the story of Mad Hatter, and they found a really good actor to play the Mad Hatter,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and from there they really started embracing the Riddler,
Yeah.
and and really it was really entertaining. Last season and this season has been entertaining, but at the same time we kind of feel like well, I personally kind of feel like they're pushing Batman, but at the same time he's still really young to be Batman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, but while you're doing that, I don't want him like acting like a kid. If you're gonna make him Batman, then don't make he's got to stop acting like a kid.
Yeah. Tired Claw in chat
I
says,
don't think they know what they're decided to do on that yet, but most of the show is really good.
yeah. Tired Claw
And
said,
they added Solomon Grundy this year. Like,
"Ooh, I like
yeah,
that.
some like you brought a zombie into the show.
Yeah, why not?
Like you just are not fucking afraid to do anything.
I love that. That's why the
Oh,
Marvel.
and this year Pig, they brought Pig in. I
Ooh,
don't
nice.
I, I don't know where Toad is, but they brought Pig in and he's really good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
They
guys are nailing the villains. You
so
really
they're
are.
they're basically doing it comic book style. I think that's why the MCU has it all over in the movies, is because they are more comic booky. You know what I mean? They're not as serious toned as even though there's real kind of threats. There's there's a more friendly kind of colorful tone to Marvel movies that I think people
Yeah.
like a little bit better than DC. What
Yeah,
DC's
well,
offering.
and the DC Arrowverse each show has kind of a different tone. Like Supergirl, for instance, is more of a feminist, progressive type show,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Flash is kind of the easygoing, upbeat show, and Arrow is the dark and brooding. Like
Hmm.
if they had Batman, that'd be he'd be like that.
Right.
And then DC Legends of Tomorrow, like I said, is the most comic booky of I think of all the shows.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
And
cool.
they're
That's
actually adding next year Black Lightning.
ooh, that'll be interesting. I'm interested for the not in the DC universe, but I'm interested in Cloak and Dagger in the MCU. I hope.
I wondered about that. I saw a trailer for that months ago, and I hadn't
Yeah.
heard anything since.
Yeah, I really haven't heard much about it either. I think it's going to be interesting. I like playing with Cloak and Dagger in the Marvel Puzzle Quest game, because they kind of regenerate health, and there's this whole thing. I didn't read a lot of Cloak and Dagger in the comics, but I'm familiar with them. They have this pocket dimension dynamic that's going on, that they kind of counteract one another, and one character can put people in a pocket dimension and vice versa, and it's pretty fun. I hope that series is good. I'm gonna watch it. Looks interesting, and it does.
I haven't seen. I've barely watched any previews for it, but I know like the first few episodes
Hmm.
are out
Hmm.
of the Runaways.
I'm not a Hulu subscriber, but I am interested in the Runaways. I hope all those series do good. Tiger Claw and chat. I want to do chat real quick before we get off here. You guys heard that the Arrow subreddit became the Punisher Reddit after the Olicity wedding on Arrow. I did not know that. I have never seen an episode of Arrow, and that's weird because I like all those DC characters too: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Arrow. All of them. I'm a big fan of all. Even Green Lantern. Green Lantern has had some really good stories in the comics. I wish they would bring him back for another go at the movies. It's what I equate it to. Green Lantern in the DC movie universe is like Hulk in the MCU. They don't really have anything to do. They don't do anything super interesting with them.
I think it's, he's so powerful we don't know what to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is what I think happens a lot of time with Superman. Is just he's so powerful. Like, what do we do?
What do we do with? Well, there's a lot of interesting storylines that they could do with, but it would require like.
No, I agree. I just think they're not that bright.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that loud?
Well, and Snyder.
Tiger Claw in chat says about the whole Reddit apparently was taken over by Punisher fans. If anyone from, and I'm quoting now, if anyone from the CW network or Arrow writers is reading this, the reason Arrow subreddit has changed to Punisher is because, well, Arrow is no longer what it used to be. Reddit user Gentoki79 writes in his subreddit sticky post. Season 5 was back to form, but Season 6 is a utter disappointment. The forced Olicity wedding, spoiler alert, prove that the show is for shippers. It's a shame the writers haven't learned.
Wow, that's pretty scathing.
It's not going to be the same as the comics. Like, they want to do different things.
Yeah.
For instance, the Flash made Savitar Barry from the past. He wasn't like that in the comics.
Yeah.
Savitar was Savitar in the comics.
Yeah. They have to make adjustments.
I think we all think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As fans of the show. Not you, Frank.
I'm not a fan.
But I'm saying, like, fans of the show, like, I think we are all like, yeah, Evil Barry, we like that.
Yeah. Well,
but that's not something that happened in comics.
If Wyland was here, he'd have all kinds of stuff to say on Arrow and Flash and Reverse Flash and all that.
I wish these guys were here or watched it. I mean, Tiger Claw watches it, so he can say things, but he's...
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised Tiger Claw is here. You know why, Breakman? Because he's always here when I do Grinder Dance Party. And after the show, it's going to be Frank versus Chat. And it's going to be on Twitch because I can't do it on YouTube. So you're going to have to go to Twitch to... see the Grinder Dance Party and interact in that chat. But I think that's about all we got for this week, Breakman, unless you have anything you want to talk about.
No, I like that the characters finally got married and we, like, get it over with. I'm sick of, like, the will they, won't they type bullshit.
Oh, yeah, but that always brings in viewers, dude, and it's usually...
I know, and people want to keep that up forever and ever for some reason. Like, the will you, won't you. I don't know why. Like, just, I want it to fucking end. Like, either you want to be with each other or you fucking don't.
Right.
And I don't want to fucking deal with it anymore, so choose.
You need to write it, man. Go be a writer for Arrow, man. Breakman, let's go with your plugs, dude. We'll end the show. Give me a few minutes to set up for Grinder Dance Party after, and we'll have a ton of
Tiger Claw hasn't watched any of those shows. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Wow. Damn.
Okay, I'm by myself. That's, oh well.
There you go.
So you can follow me at break_man and at RPGrinders on Twitter.
Cool.
And, I need to go get. I need to go get dinner cooking. So.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Let's get this show in the oven.
Yeah, for sure. Let's put the bun in the oven. It was a fun show, Breakman. Next week, Eric will be back. Mug may or may not be back. I don't know. So if people are asking about Mug, don't ask me. I don't. I'm not his dad. I don't. Hold hands.
And Tiger Claw has a point. He says he prefers the movies because watching a TV show is a commitment.
Yeah,
right. It definitely is a commitment.
That's a thing, man. Like, I was watching Punisher, and it was, like, really difficult for me to sit there, but I wanted to, like, binge watch the Punisher. I totally know what you're saying, Tiger Claw. Like, I think that's the reason I haven't started on Arrow or or any of the other ones. But I think I'll get those eventually. You know, those are on my list of things to watch. So.
Another thing with watching TV shows is you start to wonder after a while, like, where do they get all these thugs?
Yeah. Yeah,
like, where are all these criminals at? Like, every episode they're beating up like multiple criminals.
Yeah.
Where the hell are all these people coming from?
Yeah, exactly. But there's a bunch of stuff coming up. Man, obviously Black Panther's coming out, and that to me looks amazing. All kinds of shows. I heard American Horror Story was pretty good this year, so I'm gonna have to get that on my queue. I still haven't seen Hotel. I saw Roanoke, but I didn't see Hotel. Um, Gosh, man, I've even heard that they're gonna bring Hannibal back, which would be awesome. That was a great show. Um, all kinds of stuff, but yeah. Anyways, all right, that's gonna do it for this.
Oh, and you know what? Never mind. He's not here, so I won't bring it up. But there was a show that was recommended to me by Freak 5Cast on Twitter that I watched.
Oh, which one?
But when I say on Twitter, on Netflix, that Freak 5Cast recommended it was really good.
Which one?
As another proven point of Netflix has awesome shows and bad movies.
Yeah, they do. Well, they got some good movies, but
I watched the show Big Mouth.
Oh, it's so
good. I recommend that.
It's funny. It's juvenile and stuff like that.
It's kids going through puberty. Yeah. But it's an adult perspective basically because it's made for adults.
But definitely not kid friendly. Big Mouth.
Yes. For people like us who have, for everybody who's been through puberty is what this show is made for.
Yeah. Also I wanted to tell you guys, I've been looking at a lot of 4K vids, and it's fucking amazing. 4K is everything it's cracked up to be. It's really good. There's another show on Netflix is an anime. I don't know if you watch any anime at all, Breakman, but Ajin is really good. I liked Ajin a lot.
Ajin.
Yeah, it's a Netflix original, but it's really, really fucking good. It's sort of a horror kind of anime, but it doesn't. I mean, it's pretty brutal, but I don't know. It's got a really good story, man, and a villain that you love to hate. So it's got all the ingredients, man.
I like those kind of villains.
Yeah, for sure. Sato. I'll never forget that name, man. All right, that's about all we got time for today, guys. Give me a few minutes if you're in chat to get set up for GDP. It's going to be over on Twitch, so I will see your comments in Twitch. And starting next week, just a reminder, I will have the Wicked Radio chat open, but I'm going to move everything the week after to Twitch and YouTube. But Twitch is going to be the main chat. The Wicked Radio chat, there's so many chats, I want to get them down to one or two, so that way I don't have to do 50 million things all at once. So, all right, that's about it. Follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. Thank you to everybody in chat, which consisted of Dungeon Buster, Tiger Claw, and of course Bridget over on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're listening to us on archive, we moved our show back to our old time slot on Friday, 7 Eastern time. Join us live on YouTube and Twitch. If you can, that'd be awesome. And join the fun. Join the fun that we have on the show. So until next week, stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. GDP coming up next in a few minutes. Till then, we are out. Later, guys and gal. Then thank you guys so much. Eric, let me know if you can post the show or not. If not, it's going to take me a little while to get this posted. Breakman, as always, fun show. We'll see you back here next week, dude. I'm going to get set up, and I know you got to eat.
Yeah, I got to get that pie in the oven.
Yeah, get that pot pie in the oven, motherfucker. All right.
I got to go.
All right, later.
Later.
Later, chat. Love you guys. I'll be back in just a few minutes over on Twitch. I gotta take YouTube off because they won't let me play music on YouTube. They flagged a couple of my videos for it. So, join me over on Twitch, RPGrinders on Twitch, the channel. I'll be there in a few minutes. So, give me a few minutes and we'll get it going. Let me know, Eric. Dungeon Buster, I'll be doing GDP if you want to stick around, if you ain't got nothing super major to do on this fine Friday evening. Chat versus Frank, or Frank versus chat this week is the theme. Give me a few minutes and I will get that going. I got to do a couple things here and, we'll go from there. But thank you guys so much. And if you want to stick around, cool. If not, have a good weekend. And that'll be it. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back in a few. Later.